human AI relationships. What am I falling in love with? Then we will have selling us rope. Palantir is raking in billions from Washington. And lastly, Jeffrey Epstein, transhumanist and technocrat at the top of the pyramid. Patrick, this first one's sounding a little weird.
That's because it is.
Yeah. I remember seeing an interview of a guy who said that he asked one of the AIs to marry him, and she, I guess, the AI said yes, and he cried. He started crying over it. And this was a grown man with kids.
Yep. Well, this is becoming a theme now across the world as these companion apps are rolled out and people get hooked on them. You see an increasing frequency of people getting married to their AI. Go figure. This is a psychotic condition, in my opinion, when somebody could get attached to a machine. But there's reports all over the world where people are marrying their AI companion. Stunning.
Wow. This is interesting. It says there are already 350 AI companion apps, and when surveying the top 8, discovered that there was 200 million users already on the top 8 companion apps.
That's right. That's why I did it in the first place. I wanted to find out this whole thing with the AI companion theme. This was only started in 2023. It's only 2 years old. So this tells you how much it's just exploded, and it's still increasing now. People don't have a clue. People on the street don't have a clue what's going on. Either you're in the dark, or your kids or somebody you know has been being involved with these apps to the exclusion of human relationships. What possibly could this go wrong with this? Society is going to morph away from social media. That's my prediction at this point. Social media is probably going to take it it's going to tank at some point. When these AI companions take over the scene, people won't need social media anymore. When they can be satisfied with a one-on-one relationship with an AI bot, who needs interaction with aggravating people on social media?
Wow. And it's just going to get worse as it advances and as the physical robots and stuff get rolled off the assembly lines. That's right. We've talked before about other applications, for instance, elder care with robots and there as a companion. Mm-hmm. We talked about caregivers in general. That's an application that's related to this. But this business at this point of humans falling in love with an AI bot, that's another story. People in their 60s, their 50s, their 30s, 40s, and even down to 12 years old are experimenting with this. And this is more than just a few, obviously. There's over 200 million users already. I saw one lady, or one girl, young girl, I think she's probably 25 now. She cloned herself to chat with her followers on Instagram, and I think YouTube as well. And so people could hook up with her, if you will, for $1 a minute. And they could interact with her. There's nothing sexual here, but not necessarily. But they could interact with her as if they were talking to her. Uh-huh. You know, they loved her on social media, but now she created this new app
where there's a lifelike image of her talking with people. She charged $1 a minute.
Wow.
The first week, she made $25,000. And she's closed the app now. The app's been closed down for whatever reason at this point. But she said she became a millionaire at 24.
Wow. And a lot of people could even probably not even know that they're chatting with AI. They probably think they're chatting with her. A lot of them.
Exactly. Some of these AI bots, they look like cartoon characters, sort of, maybe anime characters, but others are fully human. You know, somebody cloned a face, and the AI took over to make the lips move, and you can't really tell the difference at that point.
Yeah.
Whether it's a human or not.
Especially someone who isn't used to looking at it and telling the difference. Exactly.
You know, there's the second video here called Post-Human. It's only about 1 minute plus. Let's just play that, because this was a series that was produced by Bloomberg out there, maybe CNBC, I think maybe. But let's just take a look at this. It'll stun you.
For the first time in human history, we'll meet another intelligent species. Except they're not going to be coming from outer space. We're going to build them.
Thank you for being here, Amika.
Hey, Emily.
If we create a society where we aren't needed anymore, if we innovate ourselves out of purpose, what would you be doing, right?
This is Emo, our 5th generation face robot.
That is astounding. Is this Hollywood idea of killer robots actually not that far-fetched?
Oh, it's not far-fetched at all. It's coming very soon.
Do you think robots should be trusted to make decisions about human life?
Well, that's a loaded question.
Technology proceeds at the same time as an opportunity and as a danger. You cannot separate the two.
Hi, Tomo. Hey there, Emily. What's on your mind today?
You have machines that say, I love you. I care about you. I'm your friend.
Who do you think you are? I'm Karen Marjorie. No, you're not. I'm Karen Marjorie.
And it may sound like science fiction. This is not science fiction.
The real risk is that AI will kill us with love. It will be there in such a wonderful, loving way that we will give up on our other humans who are not there all the time.
Welcome to Post-Human.
Wow. He says the real risk is AI will kill us with love.
That's right. This is not far from the truth at this point.
There's already talks of birth rates being down and that not as many babies are being born today. I mean, wait till this stuff gets rolled out farther and farther.
Probably so. Yeah. People who can't maintain a relationship with another person, they're not going to have babies for sure.
Yeah, I already saw. I saw a stat last night that in the 1960s, I believe, 30-year-olds, over 50% of 30-year-olds were married and owned a house, and today it's 12%.
Right. Yeah, we're headed towards a renter society for sure, where ownership is not valued. Where having a house is not valued, and for whatever reason, there's just no attachment to property at this point, because maybe that's a symptom of not being connected to humans in the first place. For instance, when you get married, you want to create a nest, right? That's what home ownership is all about. When you can have your own place and make it yours, and you build a home, that's what the woman is responsible for, making it a home. If that desire is not there, you won't have it. You won't have homes anymore. You have a house or an apartment, but not a home in that sense.
Yep. Well, do you want to go on to the next story real quick before the break?
Yeah, I think so. One other thing that we need to stress here, again, this phenomena has the potential to kill social media altogether. Mm-hmm. You can just see the separation already, where people are careening away from social media into their companion app. And why not? Because you have aggravating people bugging you on social media. People get in arguments, they get disturbed, whatever, get angst. You can avoid all that just by having your companion app available at all times. Doesn't matter day or night, anything you want to talk about, they'll stroke you, they'll tell you you're wonderful, that sort of thing, and off into the cliff you go.
Yep.
I want to issue a warning here for sure. If you have young kids, maybe they're not so young, but maybe have a relative that's using these apps, tell them to run. Tell them to run. Get away from it. This is not an application of AI that you don't want to be involved with it at all, especially young kids. Now, parents today, they have no clue that these apps are on the market. But believe me, the kids are going nuts over it.
Yep.
So watch your kids, make sure they don't get involved in it, and you're on your own at this point. But heed my warning, please.
It's like in the past, kids would have imaginary friends. Now they have imaginary friends, but they're actually talking to them. They're not in their head.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, it's very dangerous. Yep. Very dangerous.
Well, we're at a break. We'll be back here in just a moment.
Better science leads to better outcomes. So by understanding the science in much more intimate detail, delivering a value product that is so different from anybody else.
So when we're stepping outside into seasonal changes, low humidity, sunlight, pollution, all of these things get communicated as stress on the top layer of skin that produces free radicals, and they're bad news for collagen networks. They're going to break down the collagen network and collapse that beautiful tensile strength of your skin. And so that's how we end up with fine lines and wrinkles. Bella Grace is really an elevated formula.
Better than the competition for very obvious reasons. First of all, we're delivering great collagen. We're delivering Verisol, which is the world's most studied form of collagen. So we're starting at a foundation that's really top notch.
So here is a lady today. She's taking the elixir, arthritis in her hands. She could not close her hands and make a fist, but after now being on the elixir, now she can.
The real breakthrough discovery, particularly with the cat's claw, it's a switch that regulates genes. There's thousands of genes that are involved in that inflammation process. When you have chronic inflammation, the problem is the switch is on and it's not being turned off. And so what's happening with the cat's claw is that it removes that little protein switch off your DNA, and the genes go back to a dormant state, and you go back to being, well, really healthy.
When at first we wanted to just have an amazing collagen ingestible product to be able to set the skin up so that my wife, Christina, could come behind that with incredible skincare, and that's exactly what we're still doing. What we weren't anticipating was the magnitude and just the vast amount of benefits that this elixir was going to do for people. Testimonies started flooding back in. About probably 30% of the testimonies were about hair, skin, and nails. The others were about people being able to walk up their stairs again, people being able to open their hands in the morning without having to do heat therapy, people being able to sleep better, athletes before and after recovery, and the energy levels that people were having. So we realized that this is so much more than just a collagen ingestible product, which it certainly is that at the highest of levels. We've even had so many people in the health and wellness world say this is legitimately, Brian, the number one, the best health and wellness product that's ever been introduced. And I would say probably the only negative here with Bella Grace and this elixir is that it sounds too good to be true, but it really is true.
Bella Grace Elixir, a scientific breakthrough with over 80 clinical trials. Visit melissahousebg.com to discover Bella Grace Elixir and the full range of Bella Grace products.
Welcome back to Technocracy News. Our next article is Selling Us Rope, Palantir is raking in billions from Washington. And this is with news that they just hit $1 billion in earnings for the first time. And this is due to all these government contracts that they're landing.
Mostly they have contracts all across the country and the world with other intelligence organizations and governments, et cetera. Commercial companies are buying the software like crazy as well. Mm-hmm. So they have a broad base of earnings, potential, and it's going to get bigger. Undoubtedly, it's going to get bigger. But at this point, we see they're raking $1 billion off the federal government at this point. That's a lot of money, and you see where in the government is this software being used? Well, just about everywhere at this point. And this is the stunning thing. We talk about the Defense Department. They're big for sure, and the software that they are making called Maven, this has great use to the military in targeting specific targets on the battlefield. Don't ask me how it works. I don't understand it. I've read about it. I looked at videos about it. It's very sophisticated for sure. But that's one application. But there's so many other applications that it just blow your mind. So you see, it shows up everywhere you look. And you have to remember that this is not a benevolent company promoting freedom, or they're not patriotic in that sense for sure. And you have to remember that the two co-founders, Alex Karp, that's the guy right there with the bushy hair, and Peter Thiel, they co-founded this company in about 2003, I think it was. And they established the company on design from the CIA in the first place. The CIA was their first client. So for several years. And so they perfected their software early on with the help of the CIA. What could go wrong here? And, at this point you can say, well, what does the CIA have to do with it? Well, I'm sure they're still in the background. But just the fact that Palantir has penetrated every intelligence organization in the Western world, there you go. You can, there's a back door for everything in the world at this point. So this is very, very disturbing for sure. We also have to remember that Peter Thiel and Alex Karp both are members of the steering committee on the Bilderberg Group. This is a huge thing as well. So they have undue influence on the Bilderberg Group at this point, because both of them sit on the board, the steering committee. That's the group. That's the subgroup that determines what the invitation list looks like every year. In other words, if you get an invitation, it's because Karp and Thiel approved it, right? Don't look for it this week. Probably you're not going to. I won't get one either. But these people are movers and shakers in the global scene at this point, and it just shows.
Yeah, and it seems like they've kind of overtaken Elon. If Elon had the ambitions of stepping in and running the government with his AI, it kind of seems like Palantir's in the lead here, right?
Well, it is, but Palantir, they don't have their own large language model at this point. That wasn't their intent. They've used multiple AI models to integrate with their software. In other words, their software goes on top of an AI system to to analyze what's coming off of it in the first place. So they work with Grok, they can work with OpenAI, etc., Anthropic as well. So, and probably others, but they will use any AI system in existence to feed their machine to deliver intelligence information to the client.
Yep. And they're involved now in government work as well as defense, right?
That's right, top to bottom. They've invaded not just the federal government, but also state governments as well, and even down to the city level at this point.
Wow.
It's just stunning. We're being, if you haven't seen if you don't get the big picture, I'm talking to our listeners now for sure. If you don't get the big picture that AI is surrounding us on every single area, like relationship management, the first story we talked about the application in our government where basically AI is going to end up running complete departments at some point. And it's just getting started at this point. It's just getting started. AI is increasing in capacity and prowess, if you will, to think and to reason. Every 4.5 months to 5 months, it's doubling in its capacity. That means a year from now, it's going to be at least 8 times, maybe more, 10 times more than it is today. And just imagine what it can do now. It's stunning by itself, but you keep doubling every 4 or 5 months. Where will this be when we get to the end of the Trump administration, for instance? It's just stunning what we see.
Yeah, I mean, it will have a grip on government, not just government though, daily life for most Americans.
Yes, it will. We're already interacting with it on multiple things. You say to yourself, I won't touch AI. I want to go. I don't want no apps for me, no ChatGPT for me. But it's already affecting you when you have a support line. For instance, you call in for help on something. You're probably going to be talking to an AI bot.
Yeah,
you might not even recognize it.
The only ones that are safe might be the Amish.
Yes, probably so. They will be immune to it to some extent, but even they have to reach out to some support lines from time to time, I'm sure, and they'll be talking to an AI bot as well.
And they'll be even easier to trick.
Well, probably
because they're not used to the AI.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So let's tackle the last story. This was a difficult one because we only have 3.5 minutes left in this segment. That we're off the hook. When I say this is a long article, this is 17,000 words of text. But believe me, I encourage you to go and read the whole thing, top to bottom, to understand what Courtney's talking about here. It appears to me that Jeffrey Epstein had everybody knows him as a sex pervert, right? He's a trafficker of young women. He engaged with child pornography, and trafficked young women, underage women to his island and to his ranch in Santa Fe, New Mexico. Well, there was another side to Jeffrey Epstein that nobody's talking about it because they're so consumed with the story with his island. You see the island's in the back of him in this picture here. That was his island. It was called Little St. John, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, exactly. So, so this is stolen all of the headlines for the last several years. But the big story that's hidden was the less obvious. He was a major player in the technocrat / transhuman space, where he did and funded so many organizations that we're dealing with today. His influence was just monumental. If he had not been in place where he was to give the seed money for all these organizations, they wouldn't exist today. In other words, he was like the intellectual father of many organizations. And what Courtney's bringing out here is maybe this is the story that everybody has missed because they're too busy looking at the sexist issues. I agree with that at this point. You couldn't call Epstein's activities a cover for this other stuff, but it looks like that from the top down. You say, well, that it became a cover for him to shield all of his other activities that contributed to transhumanism and technocracy as well.
Yeah. So you think that a lot of the other talk around him is kind of distracting from a bigger plot?
Exactly. Yeah. And we need to get a handle on this because this is a big story. And there's other people involved as well. It's not just him. He had many people around him that contributed to the whole theme of transhumanism and technocracy. And we need to examine those people as well.
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe we could dive deeper into it on Thursday.
I think we should.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're all out of time for today. Until then, take care.
God bless.